Hi, everyone. My name is Kyle. I'm with Ledger Customer Success, and I wanted to start a new video series I'm just going to call unofficially Ledger at Home, which it's currently Friday night where I'm at here, and I wanted to sort of take you on a journey outside of Ledger Live, out into the broader ecosystem of the Web3 world, and sort of demystify it a little bit and show you that it's not so scary after all. If that's something you've been thinking about doing, come with me and I'll show you how to do some cool stuff while still staying safe and keeping your secrets secure inside of your Ledger Nano. So today I want to take you out to something I might actually do on a Friday night, which is let's put some offers in on some NFTs on OpenSea. I'm going to start us out with what should be a very familiar setup to you. I have Google Chrome open in one tab or one window here, and I have Ledger Live open in another window here. And as you can see, I've already gone through the process of setting up my first Ethereum account from a fresh Ledger Nano. If that's not something that you've done yet, that's sort of outside the scope of this video, but there are other videos that we've put out that explain this really well. So maybe I'll do that fun YouTube thing where I put it up in the corner there. I'm checking my monitor up there, and we'll help you get set up. So come back here once you set up your Ethereum 1 account, and we'll move on from there. So obviously to me, the first thing I need to do is get some Ether because NFTs are bought with Ether, when you're using the Ethereum network. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fund my account. So the way to do that, click your account in your accounts tab here in Ledger Live, and you'll be given two options here. You'll be given the option to buy, which is a totally fine option. It's a great option for if you don't have any exchanges that you've already set up. I'm already a Coinbase user, so the buy option is great for if you wanted to be full self-custody all the time. If you wanted to purchase that crypto and have it sent straight to your account, the buy option here is I'm going to say the only way to do that. Coinbase is currently custodying some of my funds. So I have Ether on Coinbase. They have that money, but I'm going to have them transfer it to this account. So what I'm going to do that is let's pop open the view with the Nano. It's kind of fun. Okay, so I'm going to click Receive. Receive is just going to it's instructing Ledger Live to show me my account address that is represented on with my ledger here. So I'm saying, okay, show me my address. I'm going to go get some funds from somewhere else. So the interesting thing here is it's like Ledger Live is orchestrating the Nano into the right state. It's like you need to open the Ethereum app. Ethereum application is ready. The Ledger Live part reacts to that and says like, okay, I've opened up your Ledger Nano. I've asked it for which account is Ethereum 1, and here's the address. So I'm going to copy that to my clipboard. But first, let me look at my Ledger to verify that that's the correct address. This is the benefit of using Ledger Live to do this over maybe putting it onto a notebook somewhere, which is totally fine for your public address. Like you may want to retain it for later, but address 0x315, okay, ends with 856. That looks good. So let's go ahead and copy that. I'm going to go off to my second monitor here to do the sending from Coinbase, only because I don't want you to see my Coinbase. So I'm going to go ahead and send 0.1 ETH from Coinbase to my wallet, and I'm pasting in from my copied address. And I still have it up on my screen here. So I'm looking at Coinbase right now and I'm saying, okay, 0x315. Okay, the address I pasted into Coinbase matches the one that's shown on my Ledger Nano screen, which means that I'm sharing the correct address. This is to prevent some sort of possible interference where some malicious application had access to your clipboard and could replace the address that you've copied with one of their own, and so you accidentally send to them. So just out of paranoia, I want to check it one last time. And it's also like a little bit scary to transfer money through the Ethereum network to your Ledger account. So I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. So I've gone ahead and pasted that in. I'm going to click continue on Coinbase. Again, I'm not showing this to you because I don't want you to see it. And I'm fishing my phone out of my pocket because I have two-factor authentication set up. I highly recommend that. Using text messages as your two-factor is not it's not safe because SIM swaps are real, SIM hacking is real, and people can basically have your phone number on their phone without your knowledge. So use a two-factor authentication app like Google Authenticator or maybe Duo. So now I have and configure your Coinbase or whatever exchange you use to use two-factor authentication. So I'm typing in my 6-digit code, confirm, And it's spinning, and there you go. 0.1 ETH has been sent to this account. Click done over there. We're going to come back over here to Ledger Live. It's still having me confirm the address, so I'm done with that. Let's go ahead and approve. That address was shared securely. I'm feeling good about that. And so this is the stressful part where we can wait for our funds to arrive. Because Coinbase is not, it's not our funds, it's their funds that we are instructing them to send to us. It's not really clear when they send it. And it's kind of, we're at their mercy. That's the nature of custodial exchanges, is that I'm at their mercy to send it whenever they find it to be convenient. And realistically, they send it nearly instantly. It's not usually that big of a deal, but this is a stressful time because as far as I'm concerned, I've just sent 0.1 ETH out of Coinbase. I'm sitting here looking at Ledger Live and it's not here yet. And so don't panic. This is normal. When you sort of enter the world of full self-custody where everything you have is inside Ledger Live, you have this data coherence where you can see that I've sent this, here's the transaction ID. The blockchain explorer says that yes, you've sent it. It shows up. All of that chain is something that's under your control. But while part of this chain is not under our control, it can be a little bit stressful. So I hope that if I go back to my accounts tab in a second here, that money from Coinbase will arrive. I may have to cut the video. For all I know, Coinbase is under some heavy load at the moment and could be just queuing up transactions. It could be not sending them. I'm over here on the Coinbase tab, just sort of refreshing a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm familiar with this whole thing, and it still makes me a little bit anxious to send money. There we go. All right, that was real time. I didn't want to. Yeah. All right. The funds have arrived. You see Ledger Live just updated with a sharp jump from 0 to 0.1 ETH in my account. This is the money I'm going to go use to buy NFTs. You'll see that there's the transaction ID. We're good to go. Okay, let's move on. All right, so the next step is to go to OpenSea. OpenSea is a very popular NFT marketplace. It's where Ethereum users can buy and sell NFTs between each other, and it's kind of a fun place to browse around. So here I am on OpenSea.io, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to sign in with my Ethereum 1 account on my Ledger. So you'll click the little wallet button in the corner. If you're on a website other than OpenSea, the connection button is somewhere, but generally it always feels the same. It's like Connect Wallet. And really the easiest way to do this is just clicking Wallet Connect right here. It'll pop up with this QR code, which is something you could scan with Ledger Live Mobile. But I'm on desktop. Ledger Live is already open. So I'm going to switch over here to desktop and just pick Ledger Live. And what that'll do is it'll package up the connection information and pass it over to Ledger Live and let that connection occur that way. So it makes sense. Google Chrome's like OpenSea wants to open Ledger Live. That sounds great. Let's go ahead and open Ledger Live. And on the other side, Ledger Live's like, hey, OpenSea wants to connect to Ledger Live. Let's connect to Ethereum 1, continue. And there you go. OpenSea connected this account. You can now access the app. And let's see if that's true. All right, back on OpenSea, you see that little empty profile just filled in with the real profile. So here you go. Let me just click profile to prove that I'm connected to OpenSea. OpenSea is like connected 3153 something something 3153. Looks good to me. Let's go buy something. So I have something in mind that I want to buy. It's a collection that I like, no affiliation with, but I just think it's cute. It's called Lockdown Lemmings. And yeah, blue check is always good. Blue check means that someone at OpenSea, a real human, went in and said, this is the real project. That's a common scam, actually, to catch people that go on Twitter, they hear about a project like this. Lockdown Lemmings. And you see, there are 3 scam projects here that are trying to trick me. So blue check is always good. For new NFT projects, you may not get a blue check, so tread carefully, but I know that this is the right one. I also picked this one because it's very inexpensive. So if you want to go practice, this is a good one to practice on. And the reason why I like it is because one of the properties that Lockdown Lemmings can have, they're cute little rendered critters, they can be holding as a prop a Ledger Nano, which I think is just super cool. So let me scroll through, and I'm going to buy you the cheapest one that has a Ledger in their hand. This little guy with the wonky eyes, 0.2 ETH, 0.02 ETH. But then there's this multicolored one with the Ledger in his hands. If I'm going to debate between those two, winner by a long shot. And then the floor price goes up to 0.04, 0.04. All right, you are the one. I want to buy you. So OpenSea is kind of, my Ledger went asleep. I just woke it back up. Yep, so OpenSea is like, here you go. Lockdown Lemmings, this is number 7363. These are NFTs, they're not fungible. So this is a unique one. 7363 is this particular token. So let's buy it. I'm just gonna click buy now. And what that's going to do is it's going to package up a transaction that pays Ether to the person who listed this and sends me the NFT and does that sort of swap with a single message to the blockchain. And so by checking this box using the user interface, we should eventually get to the point where OpenSea will package up a transaction and send it over here to Ledger Live. Now, this is where it gets fun. 0.02 ETH is the price. This usually you don't change. But then this is where you get to decide how much gas you want to pay for that transaction. It looks like gas prices are kind of crazy right now. 106 Gwei. So what that means is there's usually 3 suggested amounts here. There's slow, medium, and fast. And it looks like in order to purchase an $81 NFT, there's $115 of gas fees. This is the nature of Ethereum at the moment. I hope that if you're watching this in the future, this has gotten better and not worse. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to put in a bid for slow because it does save me $15, and I don't need it right now. I don't think anybody's going to buy this out from under me in the next little bit. So let's do a slow transaction. There's a warning at the end here. It's like, hey, you're about to spend more on gas than you are for the object. So be it. That's the nature of NFTs. And then I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And what that's going to do is it's going to connect to the Ledger device. Interesting. So this is something you'll encounter the first time you do this, and I'm actually kind of happy it happened. You get a message here warning you about blind signing. It says blind signing must be enabled in settings. That's an error. And what that means is it's a good way to talk about blind signing. Blind signing is when you sign a transaction using your ledger that the ledger doesn't understand. It's like, here's some random hex code. Do you want to send this transaction to the blockchain? And if you think about it that way, it makes sense why it's disabled by default on your device. If somebody doesn't know what they're doing, they could be, while I'm confident that my cryptographic secrets never leave my Nano X, I could be tricked into using the secrets inside the device to sign a transaction that is against my best interests. And so to prevent users that are new from doing this, that blind signing is disabled. But since we're out here, we're trying to buy some random NFT, we're going to have to turn it on. So let's go ahead and follow its advice. It says blind signing needs to be enabled in settings. So let's dismiss that message with the 2-button click, head over to the settings. First setting here is blind signing and not enabled. We're going to switch that to double click enabled. There you go. And then head back to the application is ready screen. Okay, so now we go back, confirm checkout. And what that should do is take us to that same flow again where OpenSea packages up a message, Ledger Live receives that message. I will bid my gas. I'll pay for slow gas in this case. It's going to be the warning and then final continue. And now it's communicating to my Ledger, and the Ledger device is going to receive all of the details of that transaction and sign it cryptographically inside the secure element inside the device. So here's the final review. You're about to blind sign. I've decided to do that. That's a risk I'm willing to take here. It's going to cost me 0.02 ETH to this address, which this is what blind signing is dangerous about. Like, what is that address? I don't know. Max fees 0.024, so it's going to cost me just about as much as the purchase in fees. Accept and send. Let's go ahead and do it. Wish me luck. Okay, now what happened is Ledger Live is saying, all right, ready to broadcast that. It sent it back to OpenSea, and OpenSea says your purchase is processing. And what that means is that message that purchased that NFT has been emitted to the blockchain. The miners it's in, the pending queue, the mempool, where the miners are grabbing transactions and putting them into blocks of data and pushing those into the Ethereum network. And so I'm here in a place where I'm pending processing. I'm going to click this transaction hash, and that should open up Etherscan. Etherscan is a way to view the state of the blockchain and see what's going on. And currently, you'll see that, this is my account. I'm interacting with OpenSea, and here's the pending state of my transaction. We're getting close to 100%. It does a good job at trying to estimate, like, how close are you to getting included in a block. And when I get included in a block, you can think of that as meaning my data is now in the blockchain. So hopefully this doesn't take long enough to make the video super long, but I really would like to get to the end of this. Sweet. Okay, success. I am now the proud owner of Lockdown Lemmings token number 7363. And yep, OpenSea says Lockdown Lemming 7363 with the dual fur and the ledger owned by you. And there you go. You see I've got the full stack here. I've got OpenSea using WalletConnect to talk to my Ledger Live application, which opens up a connection to my Ledger Nano X to send it transactions to be signed in a cryptographically secure way inside the secure element on the device. So here you see secure signing with a Chrome application, a random website. It's actually not too bad. I recommend you give it a try. Give this whole thing a try and buy yourself an NFT and pay the exorbitant gas fees and just see how it goes. Hope this helped. Thanks a lot. See you later.